I have been saying for a really long time that we don't have a rental crisis. We have a affordability crisis. So what we saw in the last quarter of 2025, probably the last 2 quarters, was the stock levels increasing in the marketplace, stock taking longer to lease in the marketplace. And typically January to March is our busiest season. And it started off with a little bit of a quiet sigh, not from the rentals perspective though. I've got a lot of tenants who are very anxious that there's not a lot of stock on the market. So I'm really not sure how the next quarter is going to play out, because we're hearing that in the last 2 weeks, tenants actively looking for a new rental has tripled in terms of the data that's coming through. And that's certainly what I have felt just in chatting with tenants. They're all, let me know if you've got anything. I just haven't got the stock that suits what they're looking for. But I don't think this is a free-for-all for landlords to go, oh, well, we'll just jack the rents up. I think there is still absolutely a sensitive price point to most properties in the marketplace because we're hitting a ceiling. I'll share a story from ABC News that talks about this in my stories, but it's essentially that the obvious, point is that salaries haven't kept up with the way that the rents have increased, and people can't physically afford it anymore. Like, we've hit a ceiling in most capital cities, and we find in South Australia, particularly over 600 per week is where we start to get that general softening. Once we get above 800, we're talking a different marketplace altogether. But if you've got a rental property between 600 and 800, you need to be really careful with how you price it. You can be $5 or $10 off and it will not generate a result. So I would rather see my landlord's properties perhaps priced slightly under rather than be that $5 or $10 over and we're just not getting the inquiries or the foot traffic through the door. It's still a very price sensitive market. But that said, I'm not an expert. I see what data is coming through in terms of tenants looking for properties, but I still believe that it will be underpinned by this ceiling, that it doesn't mean we can be out of control with pricing a rental in the next quarter. So that's what I'm seeing currently, 2 weeks into 2026. It will be interesting to see how the rest of this plays out.
Renters are screaming, according to a new report. Analysts at Domain think that renters literally can't afford to pay any